Good morning, good
I see
afternoon,
that
good
new
evening,
intro.
everybody. Oh man, welcome to the Gaming Circle podcast. I'm a little bit hyped this morning for obvious reasons. The podcast where we've been blessed by this awesome new intro brought to us by the man, the myth, the legend. Come on now,
The man with the greatest beard in
in the
gaming,
business, in the business.
Wandering Dutch. How
The
are you,
Dutch
sir?
himself did this. The Dutch himself. So I know he's somewhere in the chat. He blessed us last week with his appearance, and he saw pity on. He took pity on me and went, bro, let me throw you a bone real quick. And man, I appreciate it. It's awesome. I watched that intro multiple times now. I'm super hyped for it. Thank you, Dutch. Appreciate you, sir. So welcome everybody.
Mo in the house.
Welcome everybody. I see a few folks already in the chat right now. Welcome to the Gaming Circle podcast. This week we're gonna be all Nintendo. This we decided we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gamers of many stripes, so it's been a while since we actually delved deep in Nintendo. And this week Nintendo actually had some stuff to talk about. We might have some guests that'll join us to have a little bit of conversation here and there. Good morning, good sir. It's good to see you in the chat. Yes, and we see Lucius Augustus also in the chat. Welcome, sir. Yes, right. So we will get this whole thing started, but as we always do, my friend, Mr. Everborn Saga, you took a week off. You went out there. You sold your wares. By all accounts, it was a roaring success. Welcome back, sir. Tell us how you did.
It was a success by every metric except for ROI, but everything else was great. I met a bunch of people. I did a ton of networking. I'm going to be guesting on a few shows, non-gaming related, more comic related. A ton of new fans. I learned how to pitch the book because I'm terrible at talking about myself. All those things happened. And most importantly, this was a fan-finding mission, and that was a roaring success. Everborn now has a couple of hundred more fans. And that's what we want, man. We one fan at a time. We are bringing people into the Everborn fold, and it was great to be out there shaking hands and kissing babies. I wasn't actually kissing
proud.
babies.
We're so proud. Yeah, well, COVID and all that.
Exactly.
Distant pounds,
Exactly.
We were so proud to see that.
I was doing the Keanu Reeves picture where I'm pretending like my arm's on you, but it's like 3 inches away. So.
No, but I saw some of the stuff you posted on Twitter, and of course you were able to grace us with your presence even briefly on the show last week. We appreciated that. That was very cool. I'm so happy for you, man. It's all coming up, and I see it's working. And I do hear you're gonna have more kissing hands and shaking babies. You know what it is, as Neo put it.
Hey, I'm happy for me too. This was great. Like this whole the game, like Everborn started in 2012 when I first had the idea and wanted to sort of start developing it and put out my first game that I had to teach myself how to code in order to do. And then, and by the way, that's what got me my job as a software engineer, that game. So
it was building the game, and then that kind of gave you the bug to go for it.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It was on my resume. I could show that I could manage a project, release software, things like that. And even though I didn't really know what to talk about in some of these interviews for the companies that I was interviewing for, I just steered the interview towards the
hey, look at this game I made.
Yeah, right. And I could talk about that, and I sounded technically savvy because of that. And so that's the thing where I am today. So everything is for a purpose, even though I didn't really make money off of that. That got my career, changed the trajectory of life. And so that's all good. And now we're continuing that path. And the comic book started in 2017.
Look to Fuzzy Belvedere in the chat. Welcome, good sir. I'm sorry.
What's happening?
Keep going. No.
But the comic started in 2017, and we didn't release the first Prince of Arcadia, the version that you guys have, until 2019. And there were 2 versions that were completed and never released because they were terrible. I'll show them to you one day.
They were terrible, huh?
Really bad, and I don't want to say really bad because somebody worked really hard on it.
That's right. I'm just saying like that. You're not the only one that worked on that,
right? But the point is, they didn't meet the quality level that I wanted, and I found the right guy, Francis, to really bring the vision to life. And that journey now culminates in 2021 being at Comic-Con is a very, very, when you just think about it, it's a
watershed
huge
moment.
deal. And it is only the beginning, but wow, to be there. I've always been there as a fan, and to be there like behind a table talking about my work, and then going to meet people like other creators who whose work inspired me, and being able to put my work in their hands and say, you know, thank you for the advice, or I came here and got an autograph from you one of these days. Here's my book. Was it almost brought a tear to the kids' eyes, but you know,
no, for sure.
But I don't cry because I'm emotionally repressed. So it was good.
Man.
It was great. It was great.
You know, it's funny you say that. Like in 2007, when my one and only chance to ever go to California's Comic-Con, I got to shake the hands of Jim Lee, and he gave me a signed Superman. I was just like, one of those situations. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yes.
And I did a panel too. Not only did I have a table, I was on a panel.
Is there a video or something? We would love to check some of this
I'm
stuff
working
out.
on getting a hold of it, but it was crazy to be in the panel with the lights in your face and people taking questions. I felt like a superstar for a day, and so it was crazy. And I had some people from the Twitterverse, from the gaming community, come out there just because they knew I was there to come support, and even that was amazing to like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That have heard of what we're trying to do here. So you know, one day the next milestone is to see people that I don't know just come as cosplay. But we'll see.
Now that'd be something.
And I mean people that are unpaid.
Good qualifier. Good qualifier.
Because I may pay some people to cosplay next year for advertising. But I want to see just random fans cosplaying to some of the characters in Everborn, and then I will. Oh,
that's awesome.
I will. That may bring a tear to my therapy.
Even your repressed heart would shed a little bit of a tear. All right, man. But no, we appreciate, like, you know, it was awesome to see you out there, you know, onward and upward, as they say, you know. So
always forward, always.
That's right.
I do want to take a minute to talk about this. We just released Prince of Arcadia Ultimate
Yes, I wanted you to
Edition,
speak on that. Yep.
Book 2. This it contains chapters 3 and 4, but chapter 3 is entirely remastered. We recolored the entire book, and then we added almost 20 pages of bonus content. And we packaged it together as one book. It is 122 pages. And we released it we actually released it at Comic-Con, but now it's available at everbornsaga.com. So that is a great way. If you have the hardcover, the one you got from the Kickstarter, or if you have just the Ultimate Edition Book 1 in general, get Ultimate Edition Book 2. You put those together. That's the first complete arc, because we see an ending to that battle at Wildwood Gate. So very proud of that. And we are writing the script right now for chapter 5 of Prince of Arcadia. So that's going to go into production early next year. And the reason for that is we are launching a new Kickstarter for the Redlands that is going to come out. The Kickstarter is going to start in November, but that book will be released in December. And then we have another book, The Remnant, coming out early next year from the artist Francis that does Prince of Arcadia. So that'll be out early next year, and then right after that, hopefully we time it so you're not waiting too long after that to get Prince of Arcadia Chapter 5 and Ariel's Adventure Chapter 2. We're already into that. We're already drawing those pages right now. So that script is done, and the artist is working on that. So big things happening.
Keep your eyes out. The animated series, the movie. You heard it here first. It'll happen one day. Mark my words. It's on the internet. It's been bookmarked. There you go.
It's coming. We're working on it. Netflix is only a matter of time before you throw those ducats at me.
Before they throw you the bag, and then you have to go on picket signs. We'll move on
exactly.
Real quick.
But and before they throw me the bag, and then I subsequently get canceled for something I said in one of our
something you said like 5 years ago. You know how it goes.
Hey man, as long as I get the check.
That's right. I'll spend it, and I'll dry my tears at the bank every morning.
I'll
Anyway,
sleep on my ziggurat of cash. Look up ziggurat. It's a good word.
So let me ask you. I know that you had the con flu afterwards. There was a lot in it. Have you had a chance to spend any time playing anything, sir? Now I know we're going all in on Nintendo, but we can start in general because what game is here? I'll tell you what I've been playing. You start.
I will start. I've only got a chance to play one game, and that is Back for Blood. And to quote a certain horse from Ren and Stimpy, no, sir, I don't like it.
No, sir, I don't like it. I love that show.
It wasn't for me, man. It's not like it feels really generic.
It is,
especially after coming out of the Halo multiplayer. And I know you can't compare the two, but it's a first-person shooter, and when you feel how tight the controls are in Halo Infinite, and then you try to go to Back for Blood, you're like.
But let me ask you a key question.
I cannot get jiggy with Back for Blood.
I feel similar to what you're saying, but let me ask you one key component that I think is the reason why we both feel the way we feel. Did you play this with others, sir?
Absolutely not. You know I don't like people. Stop it.
Sure.
I didn't even play Halo Infinite with you. You want to know if I played Back for Blood with people?
Hey, no, but you know what? I think Halo Infinite can stand on its own. This game falls apart when you're just by yourself. It just does. Because the AI, like you said, it's very generic looking. It doesn't do anything different from Left 4 Dead. It is literally like they stopped making Left 4 Dead, and then they waited, and then made Left 4 Dead 3, if you will, because I think Left 4 Dead 2 is out there. They made Left 4 Dead 3 and called it Back for Blood in the same engine, same gen, no upgrades at all. But I watched the homie Somo Backslap play this while I was working, like on one of these days during the week.
1 second, I just want to say, Mr. Joanna Dark, maybe we can try it out. Maybe we can get a squad together, man. And you guys can.
We should. That's where I was going.
I've been promising Xbox University also that I was gonna play with him. So maybe we can get together and make something happen.
And like I was saying, Slow Mo playing it showed me, because he had a team. He had people he was playing with. As generic as that story is, and the elements and all of that, when you're playing with people you like and you're talking and you're bantering and this and that, it seemed pretty fun. So that may be the difference there. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No. It's just another thing Joanna Dark was asking about. Everborn. I know he started reading it, but he's taking his time. Don't worry. You can read the Ultimate Edition book 1 and 2. And it I hope it's a satisfying enough pause to where even though you won't get chapter 5 for a couple of months, you'll still be okay because you have a resolution to that battle. And we do open it up at the end, so I'm sure it's not a cliffhanger, but it is a oh shit, what is about to happen. So hopefully it'll be fine because we'll have other parts of the world in the other series that we release. Because like I said, Redlands is coming in December, and The Remnant is coming right after that. And then Ariel's Adventure Chapter 2 and Prince of Arcadia 5 are going to come early next year. So the wait won't be too long.
Yeah, there you go. And you can catch up. There's still a lot of content between now and the next iterations anyway. I've been sipping it as a fine wine too, because my kids make me read the first one, Ariel's Adventure, over and over and over. I'm not able to move to the next book because they want to read that first one again. So yes, I still haven't gotten through
Ariel's Adventure ends on a cliffhanger.
And they reread it again and reread it again. Yeah, you know. So as I posted up there, Scrub Nurse makes a great point. As I said, friends, drinks. It's not about spending too much time with contending with the content itself, because when you do and you try to immerse yourself, it falls apart under the weight of the genericness of it. But sometimes not every game is meant to be wholly immersive and whatnot. Some games are meant for that.
It's fine, but I gotta get back because of the Halo Infinite. It completely took me out of Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Back and beat that because then Comic-Con came and it's like it's gone, and I don't want
on to the next one.
into the backlog because I will never play it again. And
100%.
Forza is about to come out. So I feel like my time is better suited in Kenna for now, or that's it.
So I was on Boom's show. He had me jump on real quick. Yeah, Kana. Like yes, that's right. He had me jump in real quick. And I think it was Mr. Joanna Dark who said it, and salute to him in the chat. And he blew my mind when he said it on the show. Look up Cameo. Kana is literally Cameo, man. Yep. Like the protagonist. It's almost like they evolved. It's almost like, you know, the person that made Cameo, OG Xbox exclusive from back in the day, you know, evolved that formula to bring us Kana, and it really is. I mean, there's similarities.
See,
this
is another problem where I kind of feel like it was a miss that Xbox let Sony get this, because if I'm Philly cheesesteak, Phil Dominus Maximus, Uncle Phil, if I'm him, because you know they see all this stuff before.
Oh yeah.
If I'm him, I'm like, yo, let us take this off your hands and just call it Cameo.
Well, but you do realize that it could have also been a situation, because I've also heard that happen, where the developer has always wanted to have a game on PlayStation or whatever, and they could have approached PlayStation with like, hey, look at what we're doing.
Also, I heard I heard Ember Labs was black owned.
Yes. Oh, you didn't know that? Twin brothers, two brothers, young
Very
brothers.
Dope.
Yes, literal brothers, like same mother, same father.
Are they from the States, or are they?
Oh yeah. They're from like Detroit somewhere. Like we can look them up. It was very, very cool story of this. Supposedly there were two brothers and a friend, and then the friend kind of like towards the later half of the project, it became tumultuous, and there might be some bad blood there or whatever. It was, if I recall, it was threatening to delay the release. Obviously, all that didn't happen. Yeah, it was a thing. But it's two brothers, and you actually see multiple interviews with them. Very, very outspoken, very cool. You know, very 3-bit. If you know.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, both of them. Very 3-bit. That's
dope, and I'm glad I supported it on day one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I really want to finish it. It's a great game.
And it does rub me the wrong way that Kana is $40 and Returnal is $70, but that's a conversation for another day.
That's another conversation for a different day. Yes, understood.
You can't tell me all the same quality is not there.
So you're telling me that all you played was a bit of that, and that's it, and you haven't really dabbed it anymore?
Back for Blood is the only thing that I got a chance.
No
to
Sonic
play.
Colors.
No, I did play Sonic Colors out of spite. After talking to you, but I do want to say that I'm slowly getting back into it, because the other problem with Comic-Con is that I was out of work. I took off of work for like 3 days, and then
so you had a lot to make up for
over the weekend, and so I came back to a shitstorm at work, because apparently nothing can get done without me. And so that has been taking up a lot of my time, and I'm just now coming up for air. So I'll be able to get back into it. I'll be able to get back into writing and gaming and family time and all that stuff. So I got over my con flu, and I'm back. I'm back to talk shit.
Okay, so I just got an update. And it's no big deal, and I'll post it up. I'll let them know. So initially, we were going to have the man himself, Mr. Boomstick XL, grace us with his presence, because we were talking Nintendo and he wanted to come in here. But life happened. He had some life emergencies and whatnot. So he just let me know that unfortunately he won't be able to make it. But we appreciate you, Boom. Whenever you want to come and chat Nintendo, we'll be here. No big deal. Hopefully we'll see you on PTG on Monday. Hopefully the emergency situation did not ruin anything there. But let us continue. So besides that, so I haven't been playing. Well, that's not exactly true. I've been playing a lot of things. It's actually too much things these days.
We got Gabe O. He's always in
yes.
the
we see Gabe O.
Gabe O. What is happening, my man?
So we Neo's like going that fraud. Call your brother, man. Don't be that way. Call your brother. What's wrong with you, man?
Boo.
Boo this man. Anyway, so I've been playing a bunch of stuff, but of course, as you do when you are in the Game Pass world, something pops up and you go, give it a try. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, 4 hours later, I am completely hooked on Riftbreaker,
And
which you're watching
now
screen right now.
Now you're contributing to the stats that people like to screen in it disingenuously screen grab and say, look what percentage of people don't finish games on Xbox.
And for the record, I'm the type of person that says you game for enjoyment. If you're the type of gamer that enjoys your games 30 hours at a time, great for you. If you're the type of gamer that enjoys it 2-3 hours and then you move on to another, you pay your own dough. Do what you do. Stop the BS with all of that.
And I'm the type of person that says, kiss my black ass. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you know what I mean? Like all that qualification, all that goalpost, forget that ridiculousness, you know? I know people who play many games and never finish a single one. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing. If that's what you want from it, if that's what you get out of it, fantastic. Those of you with trophies and achievements, what does that do for you that somebody else doesn't get? Like, you do what you do. It is what it is. Anyway,
look, you either are playing all these games or you have a job. And it's what it is.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So yeah, I got into Riftbreaker. I just had to try it because for a long time, Riftbreaker was said to be the game that was going to show off like some of the graphical fidelity. Even before the next gen consoles had actually launched, this game was being like shown around because it's real PC based and was ported also to console. Man, the game is beautiful. Like and you were speaking Returnal, the particle effects and the way and of course I was playing this on the CX OLED.
Does it look better than the Ascent?
It is
I
like
can't tell because I'm seeing,
sure.
It's kind of dope that like these isometric twin sticks are
out there. Yeah, this is cool in a different way. It has the same level of detail that the Ascent has, which is really cool. I love that. Whereas the Ascent applied it to, you can zoom in on the newspaper on the desk and read the words. These guys, blades of grass move as you would. So it is so detailed. When you crush something, it's a visceral. It feels great in your hands. Basically, the long and short of it is, it's a typical story. You land on an alien planet. You're in a mech. You have your AI construct in your head, and they're basically telling you, okay, you're here. The natives are restless. Build your base. Okay. Oh well, there's monsters coming at you from the left. You got to go there. Oh, before they get here, build up your defenses, and it just gets bigger. So
this
and broader
is more
and
like
broader.
This is more like an RTS or a light.
It
RTS.
is, but it's more real. Yes, but it's just so much fun, and it gets hectic. And then crazy monsters out of nowhere just start showing up, and you better make sure your defenses are right.
$1 billion idea. I'm just going to give this away.
Yeah, speak on it.
I have an LLC that is just for the games that I've produced. And one of the ideas we had was, Google Maps, right? How you can license that tech, right?
Yeah. Just like what's the name did for that game? I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's Niantic.
Okay, what they do with that? Because maybe
they took Google Maps. They took Google Maps and they put Pokemon on it. Pokemon Go.
Okay. Yes. So something like Pokemon Go, but it is like an RTS sort of thing, like Clash of Clans. So think if you mix Clash of Clans with Pokemon Go, and you have an algorithm that will do an overlay on Google Maps, turning houses into
your town
cottages,
into
right? And then big skyscrapers will be castles, and then you basically have to take them over, and then you have to have resources to defend them, and then other people
like
can
Pokemon
take it.
Go. Yeah,
right,
Pokemon Go.
But what I'm saying is it's not so much grabbing Pokemon, but actual monuments and land grabs.
No. What I mean by that is Pokemon did that as well. So in addition to there being Pokemon in the world, you can also like go to your post office and you see your post office and you look it through with the AR with the phone, and it's turned into a Pokemon center. Like they've created a building and made it, and you can go in there, and if you happen to be there at the time that the gym master's there, you can battle him. And it's in this, even though it's in the damn library.
Right.
But from the look of the phone, they've constructed it and turned it into, this is Team Rocket's gym and all that stuff. It was interesting.
Right, but can you take the gym over from Team Rocket?
Yes. Yeah. You can become the new gym master once you beat him.
Right.
You know,
And so this
it's
is
cool.
what I want to do. And it's sort of like it's like a conquest because you're actually conquering the world.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have to defend it.
Similar themes. Yeah, similar themes. But it's a cool idea. It just requires gamers get off their greasy butts and go outside. Good luck with that.
I wasn't going to require that. So my thing is, you do have to go to a place once and then you can go back there.
Okay.
But after you go there and you sort of stake your claim, you don't have to stand out there to battle them, but you can now add that to a place that you can go to try to defeat and defend if you own it.
Okay, that's wonderful. Cool. No, but that's an idea. Keep it in the back because it has been done, but it's a unique idea, and people are actually liking it. There was a time where Pokemon Go took over the damn world.
Oh yeah, billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars.
I've already figured out how I'm gonna charge for advertising and things like that.
So you already figured out the monetization, and you just got to figure out the content first.
That's all figured out. I was waiting on an algorithm that would make that stuff easy, and there's one that just came out. I'll tell you the name of it that can do these overlays.
What's that?
No. I'm gonna find it, but you go ahead, and then I will.
Gabo agreeing with me. Go outside? What, you crazy? I mean, come on, get out of here with that. Anyway, so we'll continue talking about what we've been playing. I've been playing a bunch of Halo as I do. I'm still on my quest to get, and I think I might have some Halo footage on the grind of getting all the achievements. I actually got some rare ones last night, which was cool. A bunch of different things. I'm still on that Scarlet Nexus grind. I'm still loving that game.
Oh, I gotta finish that. What took me out of Scarlet Nexus a little bit, and this is just me being a snob, and my eyes are getting bad. You have to read text from the NPCs.
Yes, you do.
It's very annoying.
A lot of NPC
2021.
Yes, indeed.
That just tells me I'm never gonna do one side mission.
But you know what? From what I can tell, even if you don't do a single side mission, that is a long ass game. I mean, I'm far into it, and I still don't see the end anywhere in sight. And the story gets more and more ridiculous and crazy. Children that are owned by the government who are born and bred. It's almost Halo-like, who are born and bred to maximize their power to then be used to defend the state. It's crazy. It's almost Halo, conscription, Master Chief, origin story level kind of crazy. But okay, it has similarities. In addition to that, though.
Okay, I just texted you the thing. It's a project on GitHub called Pretty Maps by Marcelo Prates.
And it's supposed to then, and you're supposed to be able to use that algorithm
to draw over Google Maps,
to overlay on Google Maps,
right? And so you can feed in the textures you want and what
put in the assets, and it'll combine them for you.
Right.
Cool.
And so that's what I was waiting for
with
this thing. So I didn't have to develop that myself. But I don't know. Maybe
now that it's available,
maybe we're gonna have to put down the beat 'em up. Oh, one. Okay. Another thing. The entire what I wanted to do with R Squared Entertainment, that again, that houses the comic books and everything else that I do in the entertainment space, is the games. So R Squared Games is where the Everborn game will be released. That's where the original game was. Ariel's World was released. But the idea was to be my love letter to the 16-bit era of gaming. So Ariel's Adventure is a 2D platformer. And then what's it called? The Remnant is going to be a
16-bit.
It's going to be a top-down action RPG like Link to the Past. And then the Prince of Arcadia game is a turn-based RPG, like a JRPG style. And the Redlands is going to be a beat-em-up like Turtles in Time and Streets of Rage. So those are the 4 games that are planned, and everything in that studio is just
and there's no talk of TMNT style tournament battle. Not beat 'em up. I'm talking about Street Fighter kind of.
Oh no, that's too hard to balance. I would love
of
to
course,
do
of
it,
course.
but in order to make,
because you have a lot of good characters for that, man. You got great characters for that.
No. I would have to hire out for that because I
Sure.
can't. I'm
You ain't got it
confident
like
I
that.
could do the other things, but when we start talking about what like Arc System does, that's the kind of that's the kind of thing that I would want if I did a fighting game.
Anyways, so I appreciate that the ideas that you have coming, and I want to see some of those ideas come to fruition, my good sir. And don't blow your load. Pause on all those ideas here. Let's see some of those come out to fruition. But anyway.
Oh wow!
So I've been playing.
I saw that sick son of a bitch you blocked in the chat.
Oh,
he just wants attention.
You know how it is. Anyway, I just had to move on. Anyway, so in addition to all those crazy things I've been playing, let's transition ourselves into what we're here to talk about, which also is what I've been playing, which is some thoughts on Metroid Dread, which I've been playing.
Oh, I forgot. I have been playing.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm on the
You
first
played
one.
Dread? Okay.
I played Dread, yes.
Okay.
Why is that intro so goddamn long?
That's a good question.
But okay.
Okay. Did you see the video that I asked you to watch? You may not have seen it. We don't have to watch it if you haven't seen it. Famed game designer David Jaffe came into a little bit of some smoke because he had some thoughts on Metroid Dread. Okay, he spent. There he is. The homie Somo backslaps in the chat. Welcome, good sir.
You damn right I did. I'm back, baby.
So
back with the crazy.
He had a little bit. He got into a little bit of as he does, because he spent it's like a 10-minute video, 5 to 10 minute video where he literally spends he gushes over the art style and the fact that it's not buggy and this and that. Spends all this time gushing in it, and then at the end of it, he basically says it's a 3 out of 10. That's what he gives.
So hold on a minute. I think I want to.
What are your thoughts? Go ahead. Give me your preliminaries.
Metroid Dread. I love that it exists, right?
Okay.
And I am going to play it, but in playing it in the short time I did, it reminds me of when Mega Man 11 came out last year or the year before.
Okay.
Or is it? I think it's Mega Man. Whatever the newest Mega Man was, right? Updated graphics, still 2D. But insanely difficult, right? And I completely understand Get Good. Sure.
But I don't know. I don't agree that this is insanely difficult. But continue. Go ahead.
I'm not saying this is insane. I'm talking about Mega Man. Mega Man was ridiculous. And if anybody in the chat played the latest Mega Man that came out, you guys can attest. And we should also account for the fact that I'm not that good, right? But
hey. We're all adults here. Go ahead.
Right. Listen, man, the hand-eye coordination and the thumbs are not what they used to be.
They're not what they used to be. I hear you.
What I'm getting at is you are turning off. It can be a turn off when some of these games are so difficult, right? There are people that remember these games, and I'm not saying I'm not saying devs need to be required to
dumb it down or whatever,
right? To dumb it down. And I'm also not saying that they can't set a certain difficulty level for what their prime experience is.
Yeah. But it is understandable that you will lose people if you do that.
Right. And then don't complain when the game doesn't sell.
That's right. 100%.
Right.
Absolutely
and
right.
I believe that Returnal, bugs aside, would have sold a lot more if it wasn't
if it had a save system. Okay.
Listen, I mean, if it worked, but yeah. So
Deathloop showed you how to do a save system in the Metroid.
Right.
But
so again, the ultimate point is, it is off-putting, right? Okay. And you will lose some people. In Mega Man, Metroid, I'm not far enough into it to tell you it's a problem. But
I'll tell you what Metroid's problem is. Yes, let me tell you what Metroid's problem. And I think Jaffe kind of hit the nail on the head in certain aspects, but he's just going visceral because he's trying to get that smoke. But he, in addition to his ridiculousness, which he's about the ridiculousness, he makes some very salient points that I kind of want to get into with you. Okay, how far in? How many of these robots have you come across? Have you come across any of them?
One, and then I died, and then I turned it off. But
okay, I have played that game for roughly, I'd say, 10 hours now. I have died almost double digits. Like, I've died multiple times. Okay, but I contend, and everything you're saying currently is absolutely right.
I do want to say one thing. With everything that I just said, I love 2D platformers.
So do I.
It might be my favorite genre in all of gaming. Not first-person shooters, not JRPGs, 2D platformers. So I get it. And I want more Mega Man 11s and Metroid Dreads and Ori and the Blind Forest or just Ori's in general. I want more of those things. And I love that Turtles is about to come out. I know that's not a 2D platformer, but I love that we are still making games in the play style of the 16-bit era, and I never want to lose that. So I want more of this. I just wanted to put that
Shadow Complex?
I have not.
Shadow Complex is one of the greatest creations of this kind of game ever, made by Epic Games. You can actually play it for free now if you download the Epic Store. They'll give it to you for free. That game was monster on 360. Still to this day, I play it once a year. It still holds up. It's exactly Metroid Dread, but it is so good. I mean, so good. And of course, it's got Nolan doing the voice, Nolan North. So, it was during that time. So it's basically Nathan Drake in an underground bunker discovering things. It very cool. If anybody likes these games and hasn't played Shadow Complex, seek it out. It's pretty much free at this point. It's been given on back compat on Xbox. It was on Xbox many times. On PC, you can get it for free if you open the Epic Game Store. Great game. Okay. Here's the thing. Now, Jaffe, his issue with it is this game seems to be from a time when they knew that all you had was income to buy one game a year, and as such, you're gonna keep playing this game until the next year comes and you get more money to buy another game. And because of that, they made questionable decisions. And it's not the difficulty. It is not the difficulty. Okay? Because these games are completely about difficulty. That's fine, right? But they made
the trial and error of it.
Not even that.
Again.
They specifically made bad design decisions because it'll keep you playing longer.
Okay.
We live in a world.
Give me an example.
I'm going to give you an example. We live in a world where, and it's also gone too far in the other way, right? The pendulum has swung too far in the other direction where, you're playing a game and they go, here's where you climb. White sheet. Only here is where you climb. You try to climb anywhere else? No. Go to where the white sheet is to climb. You know those games. Yeah, that's not
that bothers me really quick. And one thing I want to point out, and hold your thought. Mr. Joanna Dark says he walked away from Returnal waiting for all the updates it needs. Did you know, and I don't know if you know this because I don't know if you've gone back to Returnal recently. Do you know that they took away the option to go and sleep and restore your health?
Really? I did not know that. No.
I thought it was a bug. I thought that was a new bug that was introduced. They just took it out because they said people were abusing it. So it's really like, F you, we just don't want to play this game.
So instead of fixing it and maybe adding a save system or letting you be able to play another PlayStation game, instead we'll take away that saving grace you had and make it even worse. That's weird, man. That's very strange.
It's like they don't. We'll also point out.
We'll also point out that Joanna Dark agrees with me in our tradition.
We don't even know what he agrees with you about.
He agrees with me on Metroid. He agrees with me on the Metroid. So there you go. Anyway, so
he problem might agree with you that you said I was right. So we don't know.
That's great. Well done, good sir. Well done. The problem with Metroid is
these are the jokes, people.
The pendulum swung the opposite way, where the game design was being dumbed down too much. Here's where you climb. Here's where you go, right? And they don't let you discover it. Metroid is the type of world where nothing is described, to the point where even in the game design, there are walls that can break that you will never, ever, ever see it. You just won't see it until you happen to magically accidentally hit it with your bullet one day, and then it breaks.
Because that's what they used to do in Sonic when you wanted to find the secret rings, where it's like,
no, but see, that's different. That's different. That is a secret ring. This is a room that you will never be able to escape until you discover this. It is an essential find, not one of those things that you find and then wonderful, oh wow, this is a secret that I never knew existed. No, it's part of progression to find this door or this room that looks like every other room with walls, and you shoot all the walls until you find the magic one that breaks. And there's no crack. Okay. There's no hidden, hey, and you know the reason why I say that? Because there are other walls in the game that do have cracks that show you, hey, there's a secret here, and then you shoot it and boom, it explodes, right? They have these weird little explosion things that when you touch it at the right angle, it explodes it and reveals spaces. That is secrets. Great. But they also have literal parts of the level that are breakable, but they show you no way of seeing that. So now you got to walk around just shooting everything.
Isn't that the magic of Metroid, right?
Okay, so I will come into this saying I have played a lot of Metroid games. I've played a lot of Metroid games, not to completion, but this is the first time I've seen this so egregious. It is pretty egregious. Like, it is. To the point where it's like bad design.
To account the fact that people are going to go on YouTube to look for the secrets. Because
but that's my point. This is not a secret. If you want to hide a secret,
it is a secret if you have to look for it,
bro. Like, there's no progression.
I'm speaking from ignorance, by the way. Because
no, I understand. I understand
any of those yet, but I do
know
that
there's a lot of
the beginning. They teach you that some walls you can break through, but you have to shoot it first before you
Exactly. But the problem
they used to do that in the 16-bit era all the time, no?
Sure, but even in the 16-bit era, you could see a little bit of, hey, that looks a little different. Maybe if I do that, you know what I'm saying? They give you, not like spell it out like, hey, here's where you go. No, but they give you that little tidbit of, hey, if you miss it, you missed it. But if you look at it, it's there. This is not that. This is literally a wall that looks solid that you have to break. And if you don't break it, that robot's coming after you 24/7. After the 35th time I died, I just started shooting everything until I discovered, oh, this wall can break.
But now
there was no evidence of it.
You know you got to shoot everything.
But that's the problem. This is not like game design has matured from this point.
Has it really matured or has it dumbed down?
No. There's a peak, and I'm not saying that everything has to be that overly swung pendulum, because that's also wrong. But this is bad game design. It is, and I'm not saying it's bad game design like they didn't know any better. It's almost like it was either this or we have to pad the game, and we don't want to pad the game, so we're just going to make it very difficult for you to progress just in general, and not because the game is difficult, but because we just won't give you the tools you need until you discover that for yourself. It's just weird. Once you it is, play some more, because this man and say what you will about Jaffe, he's a game designer, award-winning game designer, and that was his conclusion. And initially, when I heard the whole thing, I was like, oh, there's Jaffe being Jaffe again. And then I saw his take on it, and I've been playing it, and I kind of agree with him. And that's why I was kind of hoping Boom was here, would be on here, because he loves this game. He's been playing it, So I kind of want that other side of the coin that gives me that. Because, hey, I'm not trying to say that, he pitchforks or whatever. I'm still going to keep playing this game, because beyond some of the ridiculous decisions, it is fine. It is, on all cylinders. It's great. No bugs. It's clean. It's wonderful. It really is a return to form. And like you, I'm happy it exists. It's just some of these decisions, it's not like it would have made the game any easier, but it would have made the game more intuitive, and you know where you're going. You're in a big maze, and you're literally just dying endlessly until you find that door that has no key and has no knob and has no, none, no way of knowing. And it's a huge level. So you're just shooting endlessly everywhere and of course, every shot you make makes noise, and those crazy robots see you, and you're dead. It is, it's a little bit much, So I have kind of feelings towards it, but it's not to say that I think it's trash. I will definitely keep playing it. This was the game. Stop it. Feelings of love. No. This is the game that got me to dust off the Switch. It got me to dust off the Switch, and I'm happy I'm playing it.
like my Switch is behind my PC desk, and because you know what my setup is, I have the 43-inch Predator monitor. Better than the one that you and Slow-Mo got, but I have the.
No, it's not. We know this. It's
no, it is. Okay,
continue.
explain to me. No, we can discuss that later. But we're talking about 1 millisecond response time.
So is this one 144 hertz?
144
4K.
hertz. Yes.
Yeah,
I got all that.
yeah.
I got all that. I got all that. What's next?
Yeah.
And what size is your monitor? I got HDR also. Yeah.
HDMI 2.1, 3 ports.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. No, they don't make that with 2.1. It's not 2.1. It's 2.0. Yours is 2.0, not 2.1.
It's 2.1. I promise. I'll give you the monitor. I'll give you the number, buddy. Anyway,
we'll move on. Go ahead.
Anyway, just like I got like 10900 KF.
Sure. Keep going. Go ahead.
All right. No, but the Switch was literally collecting dust. Until this thing came out, and this was a reason.
Me too. Yes, 100%.
Off.
And now it's with me wherever I am because I want to keep playing the damn game. It's just I play. This shit pisses me off, and then I like throw it. No, put it down. Let me go back to Rift Breaker. Let me go back to something, and I'll come back to it like in an hour or two, and then go at it again. It's just I feel like had they made those decisions a bit more intuitive, because it's not to say that there are no levels that show you, hey, here's a secret, because even in the same game there are. It just seems to me that they made opposite choices. They should have left the secrets. They should have made the secrets, the actual secrets, should have been behind that unbreakable, that invisible wall.
I'm not gonna lie. The ones you sound kind of salty that you're not good at the game. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Please, seriously, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I'm serious. Do not get me wrong. I'm enjoying the game. It's just once you get where I am, I think we should revisit this conversation because you might see.
Oh no, because if I get there, I'm just gonna stop playing it.
See that's the thing, and I don't want to stop playing it. You know. Oh, and Gabo, we're definitely gonna have a quick conversation about that OLED Switch. We'll talk about that. I did not
go out and purchase the OLED Switch.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's coming up. That's coming up. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But I think when you get it's that stuff gets you to stop playing. And that's not cool, you know. I want to keep playing. I like the challenge. When the robots come, sometimes I'm able to defend, sometimes I'm not. And in those instances, I'm cool with it. So I'm not upset about that.
Here's my thing, which is the long and short of it, right? I think that in the same way you can look at Halo and they'll tell you, like, if you're a Halo player and you want that old school feeling, the place to play is heroic. Right?
True.
But for those people that are not there, like this is what normal and easy are for.
Yeah.
Right. And there's even something as simple as turning on hints. And I think that would go a long way. And
even in this game,
of it.
Don't even give me hints. How about you intro me a little? Don't drop me into dread without introing me a little.
You're saying there's no onboarding for this game?
Barely.
Because this is my problem with game design as a whole. Onboarding is really good, but in a world where we're playing multiple games at once and we may pick up a game, put it down for a few months or even a year and then come back to it, you are completely lost. There's no sort of re-onboarding in this is in almost no game where they tell you this stuff. So I do think as a whole the industry needs to get better at re-onboarding, especially let's just say in the Microsoft world, because I feel like Sony games, as great as they are most people that play them, they'll start them and then complete them, like they're their games seem to focus more on progression of story than progression of gameplay. So you don't forget too much. See, I disagree with you there because even Spider-Man, like you get new powers as you go. Like new moves, and and a lot of their games have skill trees that you have to go back.
No, good point. I was thinking more like The Last of Us and things like that. Like I may have forgotten the story, but the moment to moment, I still you know it right when you jump in. You know, it is tried and true, and they don't layer too much on top of it. You know, it's more of that complex story.
My only point is because a lot of their first party games are story driven, people play those stories through to completion at one
Through
time.
completion, like a movie. Yes.
I don't think, and this is just me. This is obviously anecdotal or whatever, but this is me just looking at the nature of how people talk about the Sony games versus if you have a model of, hey, here's a bunch of games that you can play right now, try everything. When you're in that try everything mode, you're gonna forget how the controls work in one game.
Yeah, no, I get
the other.
I get that.
And I think because Game Pass sort of incentivizes playing multiple games,
the smorgasbording, yes,
right? You kind of can lose that, and they need to get better. Specifically, they need to be tip of the spear at re-onboarding people, especially if their service is designed for that.
That is a very, very salient point. But I honestly think when it comes to Metroid,
last thing regarding Metroid, the reason what you're talking about is important, and I'm just giving you shit about being salty. But I mean, it might be true, but I'm just giving you shit, right? It might not be true. Is that we, or at least I, want more games that are love letters to the 16-bit 2D era, right? And if we make them so difficult to where we're gonna off-put people who would be supporters of these games, then they will be less successful. And therefore they will make less. So because I want them to make more, you have to open it up so that it is more accessible.
I don't want them to change the robot difficulty. I don't want them to change how hard it is. I don't want them to change any of that. Maybe add a little bit more onboarding to it. And also they have secrets that you can see and forward progression that you can't. How about you hide the secrets and make the forward progression visible? They made the opposite choice. That's the only thing.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now. And I haven't like I said, I haven't gotten far enough in the game to come across.
Because the secrets, you will see them. Oh, it's that little thing. You blow it up. Oh, now it shows you a little thing.
Or
underneath.
like it's
what about the forward progression?
It's flashing a little bit more. There's a crack in the thing.
Exactly. And those things should be what you need to move forward. But that's not what they give you to move forward. That's usually showing you a room you didn't know existed. That tends to be their secret. Whereas the way you need to go forward to the next part of the level, that's a wall that looks exactly like every other wall that you have to blow up a billion times before you find that small. Like, come on, me. Come on. That's ridiculous. You're basically making me fight against this game in order to get this done. Shout out to OBM in the chat. Welcome, good sir. Big Bad One Bad Mother is in the chat.
Because he's here, I'm gonna bring up Sega later, but we will.
We can still talk Sega because there's Sega talk in the news today as well, this week as well. So,
hey, well, hold on. What time does DC Fandom start? By the way, I probably shouldn't say that live because now we're gonna lose half the audience.
No, not at all. It starts later in the afternoon time. I'll
because I
definitely have to check it out.
I'm wondering if maybe, and I have to check with the family stuff, but maybe we can do a spaces afterwards and talk about what some of the Gotham Knights and
bro, you know, I'm there.
Looks like.
We'll do it. Let's do it. And I'm excited for DC Fandom. That's actually one of those things I'm really excited to check out because last year's DC Fandom was
starts at
good.
1 p.m. So we got an hour and 5 minutes left.
Okay, well,
hard stop today, folks.
hard stop today for sure. Hard stop. Anyway, let's move swiftly along. So we will get back to Metroid Dread thoughts. Either I'll keep playing it, or eventually I'll get really pissed off and I'll just keep moving. But we'll double back on this conversation later.
I do want to take this opportunity though, because we're talking about 16-bit era, right? They have to at this point, right? Like,
100%.
How long ago did they show? If they don't,
that'd be a problem. Yeah.
Maybe we can get like a release date too, but
we better get a damn release date. Come on now.
So I just want to take a moment to shout out some of these 2D platformers that I think have been great during the years. And everybody knows about Ori. Everybody knows about Cuphead, which is a shooter, not a 2D platformer, but still 2D.
I say again, Shadow Complex.
Yeah.
Shadow Complex. Shang-Chi's good. Shantae and the
FG hero.
Yes.
Right. Another one. Wonder Boy Dragon's Trap.
Yes, that's a great one. Actually, it's on Xbox One still, right? You can play that.
Is it? I played it on the Switch.
No, I think it's on Xbox
like
One. They gave it to me for a month for free.
My Switch is a 2D platform machine. That's like all.
See, and that's the misnomer that most people don't know. Those 2D platformers, when they show up in the eShop, they also show up on Game Pass. But everybody goes, "Oh, it's the Switch." It's also on Game Pass more often than not. Like all of them, they really are. And I've actually fallen into that trap where I've bought it on my eShop, and then
that's how I ended up buying Streets of Rage on the Switch.
Yes,
I'm like, why did I buy this here? And I only play my Switch on the TV. That's the funniest thing. I don't even do it.
Oh, that's weird. I never put it. Like the only time my Switch will end up on the TV is when my children insist on wanting to play Switch, and I put them.
You're going to notice how much dust is on this controller for me.
Yeah. Mine is back there somewhere. Anyway, but no, you are absolutely right, and we should maybe that's a segment of the show we should start instituting homework. We should give people homework. You need to go play Shadow Complex. It is so free. Actually, you know what? Next week I'll have.
You said it's so free.
It is free. Yes, you can just play it. It's free.
Well, okay.
But it's so good.
Slow-mo says every Switch is dusty.
Indeed, good sir. Indeed. So okay. So that we need
to have more VR talk. I think we should be leading because nobody that could be a niche. Nobody in this community talks about this VR.
The problem with VR talk is you need to show as well as talk, and showing is difficult. You need to set it up.
But there's ways to record it, right?
I know, but are you ready to green screen half your house? Because you need to do that in order to show it in its fullest.
Hold on. Look at slow-mo. No, he said everybody's Switch is dusty except his.
Except mine, because his is at the... That's funny, man. Bro, jeez, you really threw it at the river?
I knew today was going to have Nintendo slander, but...
Oh, man. This man out here, right? No, but you're absolutely right. And I've actually been investigating, because, I've said that we want to do some more VR talk. I've been investigating how to best show that off. You need to get the full effect, because you can record one eye or another eye. It sucks to get the full effect. You need to you need to record yourself in the environment, and that requires multiple cameras. That requires almost a whole green screen setup. Like half my house will have to be green screen so I can record myself as well as the stuff in it.
You're doing too much.
That's the problem. But for real,
video in the
there are YouTubers out there. Like, go check them out, and I watch them very, very much. Eric for President being one of them. Shout out to him. Like, they do really good VR based content, and it's really, really good, to the point where when you want to do your half-ass thing.
I'm talking Council War. Twitter is not talking about this. Let's bring that to that.
Twitter.
That's everybody we follow.
That's everybody you follow, player. I don't know about me. Okay. But you know what? You are right.
I follow everybody. I
have been investigating.
Follows me, so I get a lot.
And so do I.
I get a lot of that.
You get a lot of that. I understand.
And the only reason I block people is for racism. So I have a lot of nonsense in my timeline.
Yeah, see, I block people for racism and stupidity. So I'm sorry. See, so if you're beyond the pale,
if I was blocking people for stupidity, I'd be following like 12 people. But
if you're beyond the pale, I'm sorry. You like I'm a very fact-based person. So when you're like literally out there being ridiculous, I gotta block you. I'm sorry. Or at least mute you. I don't block you. I mute you.
He doesn't do console wars, but he does do PC wars. I know how to do player.
DC fandom starts at 1.
Okay, all right.
Let's keep it moving.
Here comes Slow-mo derailing the show. Don't put it on me.
All right. So let's get into some quick news hits here, because they are all very Switch related as well, all Nintendo related, and I kind of want to touch on that, and give our experience as to what we do in the world. Like, speaking of spaces. Listening to people on Spaces, I've heard them say a lot.
Okay. That's all right.
Here we go.
Thing, highlight Slow-mo's comment.
Yes.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna let that one sit. I'm not even gonna read it. I'm just gonna let it sit right there, and then we'll move on. Okay. What did he say?
So you blocking people for racism?
That's it. That is unnecessary. Anyway, so a lot of people on Spaces always say, "Oh, well, we started as PlayStation guys." When you're following, when you're in like an Xbox space or whatever, they all started PlayStation, then they moved on, right? And then as they grew up or what, they got their hands on other consoles. They may have switched to another platform or whatever, right? For me, if you're of a certain age, you were Nintendo/Genesis, right? And yes, I know at the time it wasn't Nintendo/Genesis; it was Nintendo versus Genesis, right? What Nintendo Genesis does, right? We know that, but now, they kind of live together in the mental space, right? We are, as I'm wearing my classically trained T-shirt this morning. So we all have some kind of, and I was kind of both. I was kind of both. I had both.
I don't know. Just based on your talk recently, a lot of Sega hate coming from.
Well, but see, when you're no hate. It's just not adoration and worship at the feet of. That's just not me.
I don't know
because I had many options.
That means hate. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It's very slim view. Anyway, you just pointed yourself out very well. Good job,
either
sir.
For us or against us, sir.
Or against us. Yeah, I understand. So I will say, a lot of that conversation has happened this week, and for me, I would say we were more of that Sega Nintendo side before you matured and you touch this, you touch that, you went to other platforms and whatnot, right? So I consider Nintendo to be still one of the greatest platforms ever made. They've been doing it for a long time and they're still doing it, right? They may not be looking at me as their demographic like specifically anymore, but I still have to throw respect where it's deserved, and they are still out there moving and shaking.
Respect on their name.
Anybody
that can sell you cardboard is an OG. Yep.
Anybody that can keep selling you crap for 100 years, 100 years, needs some respect, because that's how long these dudes have been out there. 100 years. Now they've evolved since then, but still, Nintendo has been alive with us for 100 years. Come on now. So anyway, let's move on to some of the news hits of the week. Let's make sure we touch on as many as we can before DC Fandom comes and derails us. Here we go. So I wanted to start with the conversation of Nintendo Switch Online plus the expansion pack release. Now, all these things that we're going to talk about at some point, if you want to check out some of the sources, I'll make sure I put them all in the show notes and things like that, so you can click on the sources and whatnot. But I have Business Insider reports and things like that, where basically they're telling you, they're breaking down what is available for you, how they're upgrading their service offerings, and how much you will be paying for such service offerings. Have you seen any of this news come through the pipe?
It used to be $19.99 a year, and
now
like it's going up to $50 a year and $80 for families. Do I have that correct?
You have that.
And what they are giving you for your money, is it the right to play online?
But you've been able to, quote unquote, play online, their version of online, for a while now with that lower tier.
Okay. So I've been able to. So does the $19.99 a year tier still exist?
It does. Yes, the $19.99 a year still exists, but the $19.99 plus the expansion.
Right, but what we're paying this $30 for is access to Sega Legacy content and Nintendo 64 content.
Yes, and also some like free content for Animal Crossing for some reason.
Okay.
So you get a little bit added. You get Sega stuff added to your virtual library. You get N64 added to your virtual library, and you get some. Do
I actually get a username, or is it a bunch of numbers that I have to text you?
Oh, I don't know the logistics of it, but chances are. I don't know the logistics of it currently, but chances are the way it's established now is exactly how it's moving forward. Okay. They're just adding more content.
Great. So $30. You know what I feel like? I feel like they're daring people to go and get ROMs.
Yep.
It's just like they're just like, try it.
Yep.
Please.
Oh yeah. You know, so that's what they do. Oh, and by the way, for those who wonder why we're having all this Nintendo talk, but we're not actually showing anything Nintendo, yeah, that's Nintendo. I could show some stuff, but then we'll get demonetized or we'll get taken down. Don't want any of that smoke. So no Nintendo content on the screen. Forgive us. Continue, Everborn.
Well, this is your weekly reminder that Nintendo is the Kaiser Soze of the gaming industry. So everybody that goes around, oh yeah, listen, Rodimus, I ordered mine. It's coming next week, and I don't, like I said, I don't know how I'm going to explain that bill to the household. But
you don't know how you're going to explain the bill on the experiment, because that's what that thing is, an experiment.
Oh, no, listen, I can't even switch off the iPhone because I'll ruin all the family's group chats because everybody's on an iPhone, and Apple is terribly by handicapping text messaging by not supporting whatever the
indeed
the rich
and
text
selling you old SHIT.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I'm stuck, and they
too, brother.
They didn't get hit for any of
that stuff.
Yep. Nothing. No antitrust stuff for the crazy stuff they're doing with the phone.
You know why? Probably because those regulators also check their iPhones every day, so they got to know where their bread is buttered.
You know that people on iPhone believe that Android has degraded text messaging experiences because Apple artificially degrades anyone coming from Android.
Yes,
and people on
as
iPhone walk around
rightly pointed.
Right.
Yes. It's not supported, and they make you think that oh yeah, that's the right way. Nah, man, they are charging you for this. Let's move on, shall we?
Anyway. But anyway,
DC fandom, man, come on.
Okay, DC fandom. I apologize. It's sick, but I can't really use my iPhone. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, me neither.
So this is
my company refuses to let me get work email on an Android phone, so I'm stuck there too.
You know how I got around this? I bought my lady the new Surface Pro 8.
Oh.
And so
you're kind of priming the pump.
You got your thing.
Well, but you do realize what that means, right? You know what that means, right? Because the new Surface devices and the new Windows devices in general, if you're using an iPhone, it's like, oh, this is cute. But if you're using an Android phone, you can turn your whole computer into a phone. You can text from it, you can call from it, you can get emails, you can pictures you take, all this stuff. It's so integrated with Android. But if you're iPhone, they're like, yeah, we'll just let you look at some stuff. Get an Android and come back to us.
Welcome to
this
Windows is now. Surface Circle podcast.
DC fandom, bro. Let's go.
Okay, all right. We're
and now slow-mo's like, you see. now he's like, I'm the one derailing the show. Get out of here with all of that. Continue. So yes,
no case.
They are charging you more for pretty much nothing.
Yes, but this is not new, right? And this is why I don't understand why these Xbox and Sony guys go back and forth about which company is not good for gaming or consumers or whatever else when Nintendo is the clear villain. The clear villain.
Gabe came out here just like he was ready for the smoke. He's just here for that. He's like, so you're saying Sony isn't the only ones that are ripping the companies off?
Listen,
oh man, I won't say I kind of disagree because I really don't. You know, it is what it is.
All I'm saying is the people keep like fighting against each other, and this is what the oligarchs want, right?
Yep. All the while, Nintendo's like
digging their hands in your pockets.
Yeah, basically, you know, while PlayStation and Xbox are going, Nintendo's like,
you guys keep doing your spaces about who's worse for consumers.
We built that thing in, what was it, 2004? It came out in 2013. Collect the check.
Hold on a minute. They just got the update for Bluetooth headphones.
Yes, dude. You know, I discovered that. I was like, yo, I used to have this small dongle that would then add Bluetooth. I did not know this. Like, there was a dongle that I got. It was a Kickstarter that would then add Bluetooth functionality to the bottom because it's USB-C.
They had to do a Kickstarter to add Bluetooth.
No. I mean, just like the X screen on Xbox. You know, somebody third party created a solution for that screen. Somebody created a third party little dongle that you could then plug into the bottom. So and then these dudes just updated it to allow it a month ago.
This is what I'm saying. Like the larger market, the independent market had to fix their problem. Nintendo.
That's right.
Not unlike the community needing to preserve their games by putting them in ROMs.
True.
But you guys are mad at Sony and Microsoft.
Well, and you know what? This transitions us smoothly along to the reviews that have come out about the Switch OLED? Have you seen any of them?
I have not seen any of them because I don't care about the Switch OLED. It's
Okay.
not a Switch Pro, and I
So
already
long
pre-ordered
story
my
short,
Steam Deck.
so yeah, my man. Long story short, people started this going, "Oh, this is going to be ridiculous. Oh, why the hell did they do this?" But the same people, the same reputable organizations are now going, what was this one? A striking upgrade for portable users.
Of course.
So it's like drink Kool-Aid, drink, and you're paying $350 for an let's be honest, a very nice screen. Very nice screen, and shout out to all those on Twitter that I've seen who have put their Switch OLEDs next to their Vitas, their OG Vitas, and yeah, it's the Vita still holds up. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on a minute. Here's another thing to understand, and don't ever lose this. We are in 2021, going on 2022, right? The Switch has not gone down in price, but they found a way to increase the price by $50.
And you know what? They increased the price. They increased the price, but did not give you any more technology to warrant it. Because yes, those OLED screens are beautiful. Don't deny that.
They gave us a Bluetooth update.
That Bluetooth update was in the first Switch. They just turned it on. It was in the first Switch. That screen is beautiful. It does not justify the increase.
I can explain why all this is happening.
The SoC on that thing is still as busted as it was when it came out in the OG times. Now, I have, and I think I've said this before, I have the NVIDIA Shield still sitting in my living room. Difference between it and a Switch is it's more powerful because the Switch has to calibrate itself for battery life. That thing is direct connected. Same SoC. It runs games better than the Switch, and that thing came out in 2015, man.
I'm going to tell you why all this is happening.
Go ahead.
Right? This is because Sega is gone.
Oh, here we go.
No. Hold on a minute. I just let
all
me
I'll
take
say
you
is DC fandom, and then continue.
Let me take you on a ride real quick.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah.
Why are both the PlayStation disc and Series X $500? Why are they the same price?
Please enlighten me.
Because they're competing, right? Why did the Series S come out? Right?
Because they needed competition. That's right. Yeah.
Right. You can call
You're saying
whatever
in that
you
space.
want.
You're saying in that space, Sega was their competitor, and now they're gone. So these people get to do whatever the hell they want.
Yes, Nintendo is not competing with Sony or Microsoft, but Microsoft and Sony are competing
has such a drive
at a market level, right? It drives consumer-friendly practices as well. Because if your competition's doing something, then you're gonna have to respond before it gets out of hand.
It's got 64 gigs of storage now. How much does that cost on Amazon? 64 gigs of storage, like $5 for SSD.
Now again, because Sega is not there to push back on Nintendo, and there is no competition for Nintendo because Nintendo will they operate outside of that. People look at them as an ancillary console, or people who don't game get this thing. It's not people aren't making the decision, do I get a PlayStation or a Switch, right? So because of that, they can literally do whatever they want. There's no price, there's no competition on price for people to compare it to, so they never have to go on sale, right? There's no one in playing at that hardware level, so no one has to go against them on that. And as long as there is no competitor in the space that they are in, this will continue, and there's no impetus for them to do anything else and get at even remotely up to the times. This is not about saying you got to be up to the times graphically. That's fine, but these are ridiculous. 2021 is when they got Bluetooth. Right?
No. Don't get me wrong. No. 2021 is when they turned it on. You got it the day you bought your console. Cool. They just chose to not let you use it.
Cool. But this is the thing. So they can do this. They can keep these. Look at what they did where they were like, that Mario collection where it's like it's only going to be available for a certain amount of time.
You know, I have the physical version. I have it sitting over here somewhere. I'm waiting until like 2050, and then I'm gonna sell that thing for
Skyward Sword and all of these other old games that were released on the Wii U are being re-released now at full price.
No, not even full price. They're being released at full price, and then they go, "Oh, you want fast travel? We got an amiibo for you for that. For that, you want to be able to get your bombs and your stuff in Metroid? We have an amiibo for you for that.
All this is happening because they can.
Because they can, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And everybody that complained still went out and showed their tweets like, "Oh, I couldn't help myself. I got to switch
it's like
OLED.
F you, Ninja, because I can."
Right? So again, this is why we need Sega back.
True. I'll give you that. For that, I will say we need a competitor that can speak the language that Nintendo speaks. And right now, you know, they've been allowed to fester and just go hog wild on ridiculousness. And everybody is such a stan that they let him get away with it. 100%. I get that.
Now let me ask you another question.
Okay.
The Steam Deck, right?
I
don't think that's a competitor for the Switch. I don't.
Oh, no. It's not a competitor for the Switch.
Well, it is
not a direct competitor.
It is for us who will.
For me, I can't wait to play Metroid Prime on there.
You don't say that out loud.
I can say that out loud because I own a copy of the game. I own a copy of the game, and the game is installed on my SD card. I will take that SD card out of my Switch, put it into the Steam Deck, and then use an emulator to play it. Emulation is not illegal.
Okay, cool.
And Metroid will look and play best on the Steam Deck. That is facts. Let's go.
Okay, so that's good to know. But what I'm saying is, I think that Microsoft should Steam Deck. How do the specs on the Steam Deck compare to the Series S?
The Steam Deck is the Series S in its. The Steam Deck is the Series S in its execution, not in its exact spec model. What I mean by that is that when they were making the Series S, they were making it with 1080p displays in mind, and as such, when you make it's a mathematical equation that's more complicated than I care to explain. But long story short, if your output needs to be 1080p with rare instances of 1440p, if that's your goal, you can extrapolate that back to where you need the specific amount of GPU, CPU, and memory strength to get you to that goal, right? And that's why you got your 4 T flops of, because that's how you get to that goal. And then, of course, they use the higher CPU to get them frame rates because that's the priority there. Same exact scenario with the Steam Deck. The CPU very much on deck, just like the Series S, right? But since that screen is 720p, they took that screen, said, okay, we want to be able to get, high resolution over 60 frames from this type of resolution, and then extrapolated back to see how much GPU they need.
The reason I say all of this is, should and could Microsoft make a 720p portable Xbox that plays all the same games as the Series S and Series X?
Could they? 100%. Should they? I don't think so. And I'll tell you why.
Well, hold on then, because you can tell me why, but I'll tell you what it would look like in execution.
Oh yeah. No, and you know what? Do I want one? You're damn right I want one. Like there were those ridiculous floating the ridiculous prototypes of floating around of the Series V or whatever, the little open clamshell thing. Bro, I'm there for it.
Hold on. Boom is here. He says, let him in.
The man is here. The man is here.
Right. Just in time.
It is all good, brother man. I will shoot you that link. He heard too much Nintendo slander, and he's here to defend.
A Rodimus says the Surface Duo 2 is the Xbox Portable, but that's $1,500.
Yeah, and also that touch and that screen, that the control scheme is still not viable. It's still not viable, even though they're doing their best.
No. Let's be clear. they could very easily, and I'm going to try this because now the USB-C port is centered, whereas it wasn't on the first one.
They could plug in a touch base on top and then really have
and the Surface. The Surface division could make one that was even magnetic, just like they have the Snap-on keyboards, and then that would be an officially supported way to game. And I think
I hear you. I hear you on that.
If
it's
the
just
Duo
the price point to be
has
honest.
any. Listen, my theory for the Duo is that these are still betas, and by
Ladies
the time
and
the third one,
here comes the boom.
Welcome,
good sir. Are you okay? I hope everything worked out. I know you had some life situations.
What happened is this is the story of all men's life. When you don't listen to the better half, which of course is Mrs. Boomstick 10 out of 10 times, you're paying spades, right? So we have an AC unit not in the window where traditionally the water just goes out. Because we have a fire escape and it's a pain to find one. So Joe found a good one and it cools off the apartment. But we haven't taken out the water, and it's a stupid design. The spout is on the bottom. You got to dump it over. You got to find something.
I have exactly the same thing you have.
It's a nightmare. So what started happening is it started going off midway, and she was like, "We got it. We haven't emptied out the water. Let's do it." Now we did it twice, and she's like, "I kind of think that there's water in there." I'm like, "No,
we're fine.
We got it." And then when we did it before, it was
famous last words, huh?
Yeah,
but
so
see, you know
listen
what,
to your missus, folks.
For sure.
Boom. In my house, it's usually the other way around where I'm right, but I'm not allowed to say that I'm right after things go the way that I said they were going to go.
I wouldn't say that publicly, my friend.
I was about to say, you better keep your voice down. I kind of feel the same way in my household. I'm going to keep that real quiet real quick.
So this is the rawest version. Look, the mohawk is messed up.
We want you here, baby. It's all good.
It's raw.
Here and live in color. That's all we need, baby. It's great.
no colorful T-shirt, but yes.
Oh no.
I jumped in the raw. I feel like someone running down from the ring, from the backstage, and slides underneath and stops the chair,
and then touches
boom, hits it and runs out. The referee doesn't see it, and you pin him 1, 2, 3. That's
right. That's right. So we've been giving Nintendo a lot of what I think Everborn will agree with me, what we consider some righteous smoke. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what part you were able to listen to. I have some concerns with Metroid Dread. I'm still playing it. I'm still loving it, but I have some concerns. I know that you may not be the biggest fan, but it caught my ear in the Twitter streets when David Jaffe started speaking on it. And although he does what he does, and it is what it is with that guy, he had some points from a design perspective that I kind of agree with.
Okay,
I kind of want to know what you think. Like, I'm sure you're much further along than I am. So please.
Well, here's the thing. I'm only a couple of hours into Dread. And the reason why that isn't because it's not a great game. In fact, I actually and really cannot wait to get back to it. I play Animal Crossing in the evenings with Mrs. Boom every night. We love it. She's doing her thing on the big screen. I'm playing on the Oled, which is fantastic.
That is so awesome. Every time I hear that, I'm like, that's a way to live. That's awesome.
It's cool. We're literally sitting next to each other. She's like, "Hey, can you help me with my rocks?" I invited her over last night. We were catching stars together. It's nerdy stuff, but we have fun.
We're there for it. That's it. That's awesome. Yeah.
So I want to get back to it, but what's been taking over my life is Far Cry. If anyone that follows me knows, they see me on it almost 8 hours a day.
You're making me want to go buy that game, dude. Boom. You're doing it. You're making me want to buy it.
All I can say is that if you are, listen, this is not a game that's going to reinvent the wheel, right? If you are a Far Cry stan, if you enjoy, I got to get this base over here, I got to go over here and stop this evil dictator's lieutenant, or I have to go here, there, and everywhere to find some new guns, then it's for you.
I like the style. Although some people have expressed some offense, and I can completely agree with and understand where the offense is coming from. It's almost like they're taking the Cuban plight and the Cuban style as a backdrop while they let you run around doing stupid stuff. While speaking of revolution, but just that swagger, that culture that's been infused in it makes me want to play it so bad.
It's very well done. I mean, it might be one of my favorites. Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah. Oh,
is a
he's my
beast.
man. I love that man. I love that man.
Is
yes.
amazing.
Do you get to blow off half of his face?
I'm not that far along, but I'm assuming you might be able to.
Because if you can't, that feels like a missed opportunity.
That feels like an Easter egg that should have been put in there, right?
But
and there should be like a Loco Pollo references everywhere.
Something for sure, 100%. But let's get into Nintendo.
Yes. I want to know your thoughts. Yes,
there's a lot to get in here.
But before you start, Boom, I don't know if you heard this part, but my supposition is that you already know I say Nintendo's the Kaiser Soze of the gaming industry.
They absolutely are.
And Council War Twitter is so busy fighting each other over Xbox and PlayStation that Nintendo gets to laugh all the way to the bank because we're not looking at the real villain, right?
You know, it's funny when you say laugh, I think of from Django Unchained. What's
Django Unchained? That's right. That's right. Yes. That meme that's everywhere now.
He's laughing. That's Nintendo.
That's Nintendo for sure.
Now the last thing I'll say, because like I said, I don't know if you caught this. The reason they are able to get away with this is because they do not compete with Microsoft or Sony. Microsoft and Sony compete with each other. That's why they have similar price points. This is why they have similar games, and they're competing for the same games. But because there's no competition, Nintendo can get away with this. And what we need right now is for Sega to come back. If Sega came back,
I'd love it.
We wouldn't be dealing with all of this. But go ahead.
I put it to this way:
a Dreamcast portable.
If anyone has followed me or anyone new in the chat, you never heard me. My favorite system of all time is the Dreamcast. I still own it. I have the Black American one that came out in 99.99 that I drove through a monsoon to get.
I see you're a man of culture.
I know. 100%. I see you're a man of taste, good sir.
And I have the Japanese one that I got in 98.
That's the one I had.
Which I got a year before.
I have the white one, yeah.
I traded in, like when you first become a police officer, they throw these things at you. Hey, you want to save for the future, get bonds. So I started doing bonds and deferred compensation, trying to save for the future and all this other stuff. I took all of the bonds that I made and I cashed them in early, and I went and sold all of this. Again, I'm sharing my loss with you folks, so just bear with me. The biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire life is I was a G.I. Joe 3 3/4 connoisseur. I had everything as a kid. Everything, and not because my father was a blue collar dude, worked construction. My mom stayed home. We weren't rich, folks. We were just, I would say, barely middle class. I found ways to make candy stands and sell juice boxes and stuff like that at the courts when people were playing. Made the Kool-Aid thing and came out 50 cents a cup, and to buy my G.I. Joes. I had about 300 mint on card Joes, dating back to the 80s forward. And I had 3 giant boxes they were in, and I sold them to get the Dreamcast, which was $1,500 imported from Japan with 4 games. It's my biggest crime. It's my biggest mistake.
Where did you buy that from? I got mine from a place called Games and James down in Chinatown, and that's where I used to get all my DBZ videos from. I paid, I think, like max $500 for it.
Wow! No,
at the time in '98.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Awesome.
We used to
we should have linked up back then, man. Yeah. I could have put you on.
Funny story. It goes to show you how small this world is. There's a place in Queens Boulevard. The owner, now he's probably long past. We used to call him grandfather. He's an old Asian man. He actually told us, "Call me grandfather." So we say, "Hey, grandfather," we used to go in there all the time. We used to hang out. Don't you know that King David worked for him, and Cognito and a Sovereign used to go to that store? We just never met in real life.
That's amazing.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing. That's so great.
That was the one place that we used to go to Queens, but where I bought the Dreamcast for this ultimate package. It was an ultimate package deal. You got 2 of the memory cards, you got an extra controller, you got the 4 games, one of which was unplayable because it's all Japanese. It was like a dating game or something. It was terrible. It was from this place in South Carolina.
Dreamcast had some questionable game choices.
They
boy.
had very questionable
They had
games,
some interesting ones.
My favorite console of all times, Dreamcast.
Oh, I agree. I love
I have
Dreamcast.
2 of them. I have 4 controllers. I have
awesome.
I want to say about
Remember
90
Power
games.
Stone?
Of course, I played Power Stone 2 weeks ago. Power Stone 2. I love Power Stone. I love it. Yeah,
amazing.
I have every console I have emulates Dreamcast. Every single one.
Nice.
My Wii U, my OG Xbox 360, my OG Xbox. All of them have capabilities to emulate Dream. It is my life's mission to make every device I own play Dreamcast.
I hear you, but let me reel it back in and let's talk.
Please, yes. I want to know your opinions on this new expansion plus thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. I saw the announcement. Mm-hmm. I was a little sticker shocked. I'm going to be honest with you, because I expected a $5 to $10 increase, right? Like I said, okay, they're going to charge $30 a year. When I saw 50, I kind of sat back in my chair and I say, my God, this is bad pricing. This is bad pricing. Now, I'll say it. I'm a Nintendo fan. I went out. I was unsuccessful of getting the N64 wireless controller. I just missed it. I had it in the cart. I went to do something, forgot about it, came back, and all I could get was the Genesis. So it's fine. That's coming. They're gonna have some more available at the end of the month, which is fine.
I might get the N64 controller at some point.
So I'm buying that. Those are $50 a piece. Standard fare for wireless controllers in 2021.
That's not a big deal.
It's a wireless N64 controller. Did you ever think that you would get a wireless N64 controller?
The
answer is no.
No. Yeah.
So I see
officially
the price. I see the price, and I'm like, man, that's a tough pill to swallow. Now I'm already paid up, and Mrs. Boom is already paid up to the end of the year. Now she's probably not going to get the plus because she doesn't play it. She plays Animal Crossing, and that's all she plays. So she's probably
Aren't you supposed to get some Animal Crossing updates?
The free DLC is coming on November 4th, and there's a paid DLC that I was a little bit like, I don't know if that is for me, but we're probably going to get it anyway. It's it's Nintendo, we love it. And then I sat back in my chair and I said, okay, if you look at what they did with the NES and Super NES games, they're constantly dropping games into this service that you pay for. Right, it's not just the original games that they put out there. It is additional games. Now, some games are, crummy, but some games are really good. You know what I'm saying? You got some really good ones in there. The only way that this remains a legitimate service for $50 a year is if we are constantly going to get updates on new N64 games, along with new Genesis games that are going to populate the online service. Like, I don't know exactly how many games. I think it's a dozen for the N64, I think. And I think there might be 15, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that for the Genesis. And
they have been growing on the Nintendo side anyway. The existing library, it has been growing. Now, some of the game choices have been a little bit questionable from time to time, but we'll see how it goes. You're definitely true that as that new service progresses, we will start seeing more N64 and potentially Genesis games be added.
Like honestly, for me, the highlight is F-Zero for the N64. Now, it's not better, in my opinion, than the GameCube version. GameCube F-Zero is the boss.
Yeah,
right.
Why not throw that out there? Why not give us some more updates?
I think GameCube is coming next. To be honest with you, I don't. I mean, they're going through the motions, right? And
but how much are they going to charge us for GameCube? This is the problem, right?
See, I don't know if they can, because then I think we all have to revolt if they change it up to $70, dude.
Boom, you see the look on my face.
I see the look. Yes,
you know they will. You know they can and they will.
And here's my question. Do we think really, and this is a genuine question from the tech guy, do we think really that the Switch in its docked form can run all of that stuff from GameCube well?
I don't know.
I think so. I think it can.
I'm not saying it can't run it, but I mean to the point where it's native, like it's running righteous, like 2D N64, like that's different. But like starting GameCube is when they actually started having some ambition on technology.
Yes.
So they actually started pushing the envelope a little bit on that.
But the Wii U was more powerful than anything on the N64. Would you not agree?
Yes.
And the Switch is more powerful than the Wii U.
Not by much, my friend. If you
but
play
it still is.
Yeah,
and
it
by
is.
that law, it's more powerful than the N64.
No, I get that. But I guess where I'm going with that is all these N64 games and all the Nintendo games and all the stuff they've added right now, you can literally just throw it in there and the Switch brute forces it because it's just that strong, right? But when they re-released the Wii U version of Mario Kart, they had to re-optimize that thing because you can't just throw it on the Switch. And a lot of these GameCube games will require some touching before that may delay things.
I don't know because I see this is the thing. That's a generation behind.
See.
That's two generations behind the Wii U.
Yes, but you're talking about something that is direct connected and plugged into a wall that they don't have to worry about optimizing for battery life versus the Switch, which has always been kind of this.
So you don't think the Switch can do everything that was on the PS2?
I think that it can do everything that's on the PS2, but the GameCube was more powerful than the PS2. Okay. The GameCube was more powerful than the PS2. Look at Eternal Darkness. Look, it was more powerful than the PS2. It really was. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying developers may have to touch some things. They may have to go in and do some things because it can't just be like, oh, here it is. It just runs. Okay. Because the GameCube was pushing the envelope a little bit. That's all I'm saying. It might be interesting.
So here's the trouble, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the Nintendo Online used to be $19.99 a year, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, $20.
And that was for the games that they had there, and you got that, right?
Yeah, and they also kept adding more.
They kept adding more, but what they did now is they said instead of adding more to that subscription to keep you subscribed, they just said, F it, you're going to subscribe for the same thing. We didn't add anything, and now that we added more, we're going to now charge you $30 more.
Charge you more for
it. So what is to say that when they add another generation of consoles on it, like the GameCube, that they're not going to charge you even more?
Then it'll be Nintendo Online plus expansion plus memory card update.
And the next question is this $30 just because they have to pay Sega?
Well, I don't necessarily know
because the other stuff was.
I'm sure that that's a part of the it's a part of the equation for sure. Sega isn't just tipping the hat and say, "Hey, Nintendo, you beat us, so take our collection." No, they're in the business of making money, and I would imagine.
I thought you were saying they're in the business of whoring around their licensing, but that's
that too.
No, I mean, I listen. I'm still hoping on a new Shinobi one day. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, can we talk about Sega? Can we? But I'll finish this.
Well, okay. And we have two more topics before we go. We have two more topics. Two more Nintendo specific topics.
Because you hate Sega, but it's
I love Sega.
I'm not hating on Sega, bro. I'm just saying. I'm saying there's news.
Sega talk, but it's okay.
We want to get to fandom on time, and there's two more conversations. One that you actually requested earlier. You were talking about until they talk about Nintendo Switch Pro, and there's conversation about the Pro coming up. So let's have that work. Let's have that conversation. Yes. Sure. So real quick, there's now conversation, and it's by more reputable sources. VGC, shout out to VGC as Boom does. Yes, they do good work. They don't traffic in ridiculousness. So when they put it out there, I tend to it adds more credence in my book, right? There's now more evidence that there's patents that are showing that they are looking at a DLSS style upscaled AI for a Switch Pro like device, which would obviously probably be 2022 at some point. Is that what you're looking for? When that happens, will you shell out the ducats
in a second?
And do you think that one that comes with DLSS capable will also come with an OLED screen? Has that screen now become standard, or will it be?
Yes. I'll jump in if you guys don't mind. First of all, when that does release, yes, please. I bought every Nintendo. I even had the Virtual Boy, folks.
Oh, that's nice.
The red joint, red and black joint.
Yeah. Gave headaches like a mother, but I still enjoyed it.
I played I bought it, and
this VR guy was all about that for sure.
I remember that you had the wire feet for the stand, and you had to so you had to put your like this, get in there.
You had to
Unbelievable.
This, my friends, is why Boom wears glasses today.
Listen, I'm 51 years old, and what's crazy is I got a pair of Oakleys, by the way, which are dope. They made me feel really weird. They had like this blue tint, and the glass part was different, so it was made feel weird. So I had to return those. They're fixing those now. So these are the old ones. But getting back to Nintendo, listen, Nintendo isn't stupid. They understand that they are coming to a point where technology is not just a year or 2 years ahead of them.
It's many years,
multiple years, maybe 5. I don't want to say 10. That would be kind of, I think, really stretching the truth. I want to say that right now they're 5 to 6 years.
You know when you'll know for sure? You'll know for sure when that Steam Deck comes out and people start emulating Nintendo games on it. You'll see the change. And I bet you see like a Breath of the Wild comparison to the native Switch version. Like DF will do it or something like that. And you'll see the difference in uplift. But let's be clear here, though. Those diehard Switch fans don't care, right? They really don't care. As long as you give me the game I want, the gameplay, the Nintendo magic, I'll still keep buying a technology that's the equivalent of an Abacus. You know,
everybody here is going to race out to buy Breath of the Wild 2, and whatever I'm playing comes to a complete halt.
I'm there.
Listen,
I'll be there.
I'll even dare say this: if for some reason Breath of the Wild 2 releases, and I think Everborn has said this multiple times, what hurt Horizon Zero Dawn going up against Zelda?
Yes.
They went 100%. Head to head and she lost.
Oh, you're damn right. And that's a bad comparison to make.
And I got news for you. As good as she is, she's my favorite new IP in Sony land. I love Aloy.
If it happens again, she's going to lose again.
She's going to lose again.
Hell yeah.
What did they say?
It's going to be a bloodbath.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes.
It rhymes.
So look, if they do at some point in 20, because we're all thinking it's not going to be next year. The rumors that I thought I've read, and maybe VGC, the new story I didn't hear.
Maybe.
I'm thinking 2023. I'm thinking March 2023. That's my take on it. I don't know if they're going to launch something big with it. It won't be a Breath of the Wild 3. That's going to be in development for a while. It could be Metroid Prime 4. It could be Mario Odyssey 2. It could be a new Mario Kart. It could be
it could be a new Mario Kart because they have been riding that Mario Kart.
Which,
that
by
old
the way,
Mario Kart.
Have you seen the numbers on Mario Kart Deluxe, bro? It is
insane, man.
Yes,
it's insane.
By the way,
it's just
another great when we were talking about 2D platformers. That Super Mario Deluxe, the one that they re-released from the Wii U, 2D Mario.
Yeah.
Clutch.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Fantastic,
it is so
absolutely.
great. I play with my kids all the time. It is absolutely fantastic. Well, while we're having this conversation, no, it's tough as hell. Yeah. While we're having that conversation, let me add that last bit into it so we can just keep talking about all this. And the latest bit of news that I kind of wanted to throw in here while we're still going through it is Nintendo has basically come out and said, yeah, Switch OLED, yeah, great, wonderful. We added all this new tech into it. Yeah, you're still gonna have Joy-Con drift. Now go buy it.
They said that they did something. Were you talking about the control drift?
Yeah,
they
said
that they
we've added new tech, but still expect Joy-Con drift. Even though the Steam Deck has come out, like Gabe Newell and all them, they came out and they went, see all the technology we use? There'll be no drift in this one. They have literally come out. And Nintendo, who is the leader of all of the handhelds, goes, we have this new hardware. You're going to buy it. It's going to be great. We've added all this new tech. There'll be still Joy-Con drift.
Like I said, we got the games. You want the games. F you.
F you, buddy. Go buy
it. and that is your relationship with Nintendo.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, to add on to that point, the situation is very simple. Nintendo, to this day, is one of the few Disney-like companies that can, in fact, when I stand for Mario Kart, Gabe, oh, what's up, brother? I love it. Their sales are almost
ridiculous.
1-to-1.
Aren't they the only ones that can ever claim that they had a 2-to-1 before, where people bought Breath of the Wild before they even owned the system? Like, get out of here with all of that.
It's ridiculous.
Just nuts.
So, look, they do have the games. We do want them. We are going to continue to buy their hardware.
Don't forget the FU part, Boom.
FU people, they don't.
That is key. Yes, indeed.
FU gamers, you're buying it in tough. Like the good Richard Pryor said from the toy, tough titty.
Oh yeah, tough titty, my friends. Now, my question is this: do you guys ever see a world where they have a come to Jesus moment where it's just like, okay, we've gone too far now?
Yeah, that's when Sega comes back.
And you think Sega will come back?
I would love it.
There's a world in which Microsoft buys them, but that doesn't mean Sega comes back. That just means Sega becomes,
Listen, let me lay out the pathway because you don't want to see it. And
lay
I am
it out,
cursed.
Lay it out.
Cursed with knowledge.
He's cursed with vision and knowledge, and we have 15 minutes left before Fandom.
Okay, this is what happens. Xbox Series C. That's a code name, right? For compact, for portable, right?
Series P. Xbox Series P.
Right. So now that's the thing that's going to basically be like the Steam Deck, and it will play every Xbox game ever released, just like the Series X and Series S does. Designed for 720p play. Right.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
Then they buy Sega, right? And they're going to buy it for cheap. Pennies on the dollar, maybe $2 billion. I know that the whole of Sega Sammy is $3.5 billion. They're going to separate out the Sammy game division, which they have been doing over the past few years. So then they buy Sega. And then the next thing they do is give golden parachute packages to all of the management at Sega. Get them out of here. Right?
Bye.
Then we're going to say Mikami-san, Shinji Mikami. We know that
father of Sega, yes.
No. Father of Resident Evil.
Oh,
yes,
we're going to take him from Tango Gameworks and we're going to expand his role. And we are going to say we want Sega is going to become our publishing arm in the Eastern region, right? And Mr. Mikami or Mikami-san, we want you to run it. Right?
I mean, look, what you're putting down, I'm buying, because what you are saying is to make him as important to this new thing as Miyamoto is for Nintendo.
Yes.
And because of his history with Resident Evil, because of his history,
and his pedigree, he'll be respected.
He is going. Yeah, see, that's the key. It's the respect in the region. And he wouldn't be looked upon. No one would dare say he's a sellout.
No,
exactly.
They would never even utter those words. So there'd be no worry of, are they going to think he sold out? No, he's trying to bring back the beloved Sega, and he's taking a leadership position. I like what you're putting down, brother.
I'm not even done yet. So now what we're going to say is we are going to mine all the IPs that Sega has, and we are now, the Persona studio stays the same, and whoever's making Yakuza stays the same. All of that's fine. And Atlas, all that's great. They're going to continue doing what they're doing. But now we are going to build out new studios around some of these IPs that we have. And those 200 indie developers that Sarah Bond has said she's working with, we're going to say, hey, you got an idea? You grew up on these games. We want you to bring them back, and they're going to be known as the young, scrappy publisher that Sega once was, with the backing.
Actually, you know what?
To have the freedom to make one thing,
Everborn. You know, during the whole Tokyo Game Show situation, that they did have Phil speaking with Mikami-san, right? Yes. We didn't get to actually see that until much later. We saw there's videos of it now, and what you're describing. That is exactly what they have said. They're working with young, excited, new blood energy. This is what he said. Literally, young new blood energy in our studios.
Sega came on the market in the late 80s, early 90s with their Sega does what Nintendo
don't.
And when they were just they were the house of ideas, not unlike how Stan Lee came around when he was in control of Marvel, and DC were the big dogs in the room, and they shook things up. So what I think is that young scrappy energy can come back, spearheaded by Shinji Mikami.
Yeah, you do have something.
And the house of ideas will come from these new studios you build up under the Sega banner from these indie developers that they're working with right now, and they're going to bring back these old IPs, new takes on them, turn them around. What do you want to try out? Boom. Keep it small, keep it agile, keep it light. You got a team of 50 people, you got a team of 100 people, and then the crown jewel on all of this, and I know this is the part you don't want to hear.
Bring back AM2. Yes.
No, hold on a minute. We are going to say we're going to cancel every Sonic project that's out right now, right?
I knew it.
And we are going to say, here is $150 million. I want
give us Ratchet and Clank
Sonic
style.
Exactly. Yes. A Sonic game that looks like Ratchet and Clank that will make Mario Odyssey piss his pants. And now
every time he says this, we've had this conversation we have this conversation at 7:00 in the morning sometimes, me and him. And every time he says it, you know what I see? I see like a beardless 10-year-old Everborn, like, I want it so bad.
No, so what I'm saying is, so you have a AAA $100 million budget Sonic game, right?
Man.
With all of these new studios bringing back Altered Beast, bringing back Shinobi, right?
Yeah.
AAA Shinobi, and they're the ones that are
AAA Shinobi. Oh boy.
They're
That's
going
all I'll
to
say.
put the boot on Nintendo's neck, and then because what Nintendo is playing off of is nostalgia. Right?
Yeah.
True.
You can't say that Sega doesn't have that nostalgia.
Oh no, they can bring those same bullets.
When they bring you a new Jet Set radio, and they bring So again,
be still my heart. Be still my heart. Jet Set radio.
So Daytona USA, and you could give Daytona USA to turn 10, but still, the point is, if you do
Playground
that,
second team,
if you do that, Sega could come back, and it would put the fear of God in Nintendo for them to have to start competing again, because Microsoft would be competing on, like I said, they'd release their own version of the Steam Deck, and they have the Series S, so they can compete in that market in the home and in mobile. And then under the banner of Sega, you got all these things coming out.
But the reason why I still don't see them making that hardware is because they're trying to be hardware agnostic. They're really trying to be hardware agnostic.
Yeah, but they're still making the Series X and Series S, and they're going to continue to make those. So why not add one more thing to the roster?
I agree. First of all, the Daytona thing is fantastic. And real quick, I don't want to get copyright, so I'm gonna do 3 seconds. But imagine if you heard this come on from a black screen at a Microsoft event, and they say Turn 10 is making this. That's all I have to say. I got goosebumps.
This could happen, and it could secure them in that region to go on to former glory. And nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And Bethesda could handle things in the West for them, and Sega could take all us kids like me and Cog and all of these guys back.
You see the 10-year-old company?
It could be great, and the whole industry would be better for it. We need Sega back for the soul of gaming. They could save Nintendo from being this evil.
Does everybody in the audience, do you see the 10-year-old show up again? I love it. He shows up. He's so excited.
You guys don't understand, man. It could do
and that's why I fight him on it. Not because I disagree. I fight him on it because I want to see the 10-year-old come and fight me for it. And he shows up, and I love it.
And I will fight for it. I will fist fight for this.
He's like, no, but it needs to happen.
It should happen. You guys just don't understand.
Fantastic. Man. No, this is fantastic. I completely, honestly, in all seriousness, I'll tell you, you make a lot of very salient points, and that is actually very smart. Microsoft, if they took any steps in that direction, it would help them a lot.
It absolutely
really would.
Look, to add to his point and his excitement, here's the thing. Sega right now is not looked upon by Sony as anything. They're like this. Oh, rubbish, right?
Yeah, they're broken pieces of. We got rid of them a long time ago.
They don't have anything we want. Whereas Microsoft is in a position of power, right? They have the money. They have the head guy in Satya Nadella that wants to envision a world where Xbox is enjoyed in the UK, in US, in Mexico, but more importantly in the Asian region over here, right? We know that Sony has officially abandoned Japan, right? That is the stigma that has been going on.
Yeah,
I'm not making that up. Their gaming
that.
community has talked about it.
Yep.
Right. We've seen articles where the Japanese culture is disappointed with Sony. They changed the button on the controller from the O to the X, which
that's still slander right now. That's still
slanderous.
Yeah.
Microsoft is sitting back right now in a position of power because they have the money. They have a relationship with Sony. I mean, with Sega, a very good working relationship. If anything that he says comes to fruition, they could make Sega great again and put their armor, lift them back up to greatness. And again, I don't know if an acquisition is ever going to happen. If it did, though, what it does is it gives them very unbelievable representation in a region where they don't have a footprint, right?
I was thinking about getting a blue massa hat, but I feel like maybe it's in poor taste. Make Sega great again.
Maybe it is in poor taste. I'm sorry. I can't go with you on that journey. I apologize. I just can't go with you there.
I can't bring myself to wear any hat that says make something great again.
Oh, so I'll just put this up here before I start our ending conversation. We have just a few minutes left. For those who need to know, these are the deets. We're about to go there, and because we're all geeks here, we're super excited. So let's not miss it. So it has been absolutely an awesome episode. I appreciate you, Mr. Boomstick Excel, for joining us.
Our pleasure.
We're gonna revisit this conversation because there's still stuff left unsaid. We're gonna do that because more and more as Nintendo's throwing more of their hat in the ring with us, we start playing more of their games. We start getting more down the line with Sony talks, with Nintendo talks. So you will see more of that on this channel. You will see us addressing more of that, and maybe I'll see if I can record some footage that won't get demonetized and taken off the internet.
Now, be careful with those DC cats, because even channels with 100,000 subscribers like
they're getting
Josh over Den at Nerds. They got a strike, dude. They closed the site for a week, and DC. That's why I would never cover anything.
But that's part of the
gross.
reason. Like when Microsoft does their streams, they try to like kind of work out the licensing for all the music they're going to play,
and all that.
So
it never works. I had two copyright claims. That's why I don't.
But they try.
But they tried anyway. At least they tried.
Thank you so much, Gabo. Thank you so much, Mr. Joanna Dark.
Hey.
Thank you, Lucius Augustus. Oh, so many like friendly faces.
Don't
in
forget
the chat.
Jerry Mack slow-mo, Big Bad Mo.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. It's always awesome to have you guys here. And again, thanks to the Viking himself, the Dutch. I don't know if you saw that, Mr. Boomstick.
I did not.
He blessed us
with an awesome.
We'll play it on the way out. He blessed me with an awesome intro that I will forever be grateful for. So you can find us.
Rodimus too. Don't forget Rodimus.
Oh, come on now. We're not leaving anybody out.
Scrub Nurse.
Yeah, Scrub was in here in the beginning,
and OBM came in here too.
Yep, all of them. Yes, indeed. So
hey, listen, let me just leave you guys with this. I saw this pop up on my feed on Twitter. I'm gonna put it to the camera. It says this: they did not think through this water fountain.
What do you mean?
I saw that, the Superman one.
Oh yeah,
the
Superman.
That's from Wilmy Hood.
That's awful.
Yes, I saw that.
That is awful. That is awful.
And he makes a black man blush, and that's hard to do. Like he does that to me all the time. Like man,
Wilmy Hood is a boss, though.
Wilmy's meme game is so strong. Wow. He had a Goof Troop reference that had me go, oh my God, 10-year-old me is like, holy crap right now. Anyway, so we got to go because the show has already started. I see The Rock having conversations. We want to see what Black Adam looks like. So we're going to see what's good. We're going to see that. So, Mr. Boomstick XL, please, for the one person in this chat that may not know who you are, and if you are that person, please DM me and tell me how the hell you found this channel without getting to him first. Please tell us where we can find you, what you do, and why we all love you so much. Come on.
Well, thanks so much for that very high praise. Listen, folks, I'm a regular dude. I got lucky. I came out and I just put myself out there. My career, very dangerous, right? You know, you never know what people are going to respond, but this is me. What you see is what you get. This is how I was in uniform. This is how I am in real life. I don't wear a cape and a cowl, but I did wear a uniform at one point, and now I talk about games. And if you are someone that enjoys positivity, no slander, we talk facts, we do bring evidence to the conversation.
Wait, did you say no slander, Boom? Because you know I'm on one of those shows.
Slander is a questionable term, sir. Man. But if you'd like to follow me at Mr. Boomstick XL on Twitter, if you are someone that is dreamt of podcasting one day and you want a platform to sell your brand, please DM me. I am bringing a bunch of new kids from the community in the next coming weeks. I love introducing new talent because, quite frankly, it's a plethora of incredible voices and opinions that maybe just don't have an actual platform. I have a small one, and I try to use that to the best of my advantage by showing other people the door, welcoming them into my home. And if you are one of those folks, DM me at Mr. Boomstick XL. If you'd like to check out my channel, 9,000. We finally crossed the 9,000 mark. Thank you so much. And we
are one acquisition away from that 10,000 mark.
One
Monday morning in December.
One Monday morning away. Indeed. From Boom, just going boom.
Yeah, I just drop it. Everyone jumps in, and everyone's surprised. But it's Double Barrel Gaming on YouTube. Just check it out, and I think you're going to be happily. That you subscribed, and you're going to get a lot of great content.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. And how about you there, Mr. Everborn Saga? You've been out there selling the wares, kissing the babies, shaking the hands. Please tell us where we can find you.
Shaking babies and
kissing hands. Yes.
Right?
Yes. As the homie Neo Mental pointed out in the chat, yes.
People are doing things to see. Okay, yes, but my SEO is on point. So Everborn Saga on YouTube, on Twitter, on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. I am some random group of numbers on Nintendo's garbage service that I pay for. And I am also on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but most importantly, everbornsaga.com. So you type in Everborn Saga in your favorite place on the internet, and you will find me. But most importantly, everbornsaga.com, where you can get Prince of Arcadia Ultimate Edition Book 2, which includes chapters 3 and 4. And chapter 3 is remastered for that book with 20 pages of bonus content. You will love it. I promise. It is the definitive way to read chapters 3 and 4. We just released that, and we are launching a new Kickstarter on November 1st. I'm going to put up the watch page this weekend, and we're going to start getting people to watch that. So check us out on Kickstarter soon, but just follow me on Twitter and you'll get more details about that. And like I said, everbornsaga.com right now if you want to get those books. And you will also find me potentially doing a Twitter Spaces after DC Fandom. So nice. And don't forget Thursdays on the Reel. Every Thursdays at sometime between 8 and 9 o'clock. We get
it's a range.
Right. We talk shit about TV and movies. So if you're into that stuff. By the way, I just watched The Many Saints of Newark. You should watch that. We'll talk about it on the next
show. I'll look into it.
And I've only seen the final season of Sopranos. So I don't have a lot of context going into that.
Oh wow! Okay, you need to fix that, man. That is the GOAT of shows.
You want to know something else?
What's that? I didn't like it.
I've never watched The Wire.
What? Okay, no. That's just ridiculous.
Never
Okay.
watched The Wire and haven't played.
We have to start a
GTA 5,
Wirecast for you,
which
us.
shows that
Anyway.
I'm completely unqualified for any of the podcasts.
To talk any video games. Yes. Anyways, so you can find me, TKO Asante, Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation. We do primetime gaming, Mr. Boomstick, on Mondays at 7 p.m. Please come join us. We see a lot of you guys joining us in the community. It is absolutely wonderful. We appreciate you. Please hit the like button if you would. I hate being annoying about it, so I try not to say it, but it does help us out. Subscribe if you haven't. If there's anything we can do to make your enjoyment of this show even better, please let us know. With Wandering Dutch blessing me so much and adding so much flavor to the show already, and I will play that again before the show is over. We will most likely, you'll start seeing a bit more in coming onto this channel. I want to one day make it an audio podcast as well. I will investigate doing all those things as well. I really appreciate everybody that leaves comments on the show. We will always read every single one and we'll reply back, and any kind of feedback is always appreciated. So we really, really appreciate you guys coming out. Don't miss out on DC Fandom. Last year it was a banger, so I'm excited to go check it out again. Thank you guys so much for coming. I see you in there, man. Dan the Man Cunningham. Appreciate you showing up.
And Gabe, put some respect on Robert Pattinson's name.
But we're gonna leave y'all, but we'll also leave you with the intro to the outro. But thank you guys so much, and until next week. Later.
Very
Man,
nice.
that's the barn burner.
That's dope.
Good night,
Yeah.
everybody.